Everybody, welcome back to SewLike.ie. If you joined me on Friday, you know that my Sojo had been on a little bit of a vacation. Yeah, it's there. I'm not going to talk about it much more because I talked about it on Friday, but I thought it would be helpful for me to dive in early with my sewing plans for May. Can you believe it's nearly May? So I know it's early, we've got a few more days yet, but I'm quite clear on what I want to make. I am away on holiday for a week in May. I'm looking forward to some sunshine, but I've got some makes planned. Now, they don't particularly necessarily relate to the holiday. The only thing I think that I'm making, I think there's one dress that I'd like to get made before the holidays, and I'm making a beach bag out of EPP hexes, which I'm busy with downstairs. So when I get that finished, I'll share that with you. So actually, I haven't said that, I just realised the first thing I'm going to show you I do want to get made before the holidays. Let me just grab the patterns. Okay, so I picked up this fabric at First for Fabrics last week. It was in one of their bestie bag making kits. I think it's a Tula pink fabric. It's a quilted fabric. It's a pinky red, so on screen it's probably looking more red than it is. Off screen it's pink, and it's like lined on the back. So I'm going to do what I did with my Fabric Godmother bestie bag, and I'm not going to interface this, I won't need it, but what I want to do is make a baby bestie, because I think it's about time I had the baby bestie in my life. So I got half a metre of this, which is enough to make the medium. I haven't cut out the pattern pieces for that bag yet. I need to do that. So yeah, I'd like to get that made up. I think I'll do the strap in this fabric where I've been making alternative ones, because I think I would struggle to find sort of a red that went with that. I don't want to put black and I don't want to put white on, because if I'm wearing cream and things like that, it's just going to discolour. So that's my plan right now, to make a baby bestie out of that one. So next is another Tula fabric that has lived in my stash over there for far too long. Now, this is the rabbit hole fabric. Adam will correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure that's the name. He shared it and I fell in love with it a couple of years ago. In fact, it's on the side, I'm sure that's what it's called, down the rabbit hole, yeah. So there were a couple of different colourways in this, and I got the pink and orange colourway. So this is how it looks. And I absolutely love it, but it's a cotton, it's a quilting fabric, and I'm better with viscose for most dresses till along came the aspen dress, and I kind of was like, oh well, I could, you know, do other things with it. So with this fabric, I'm in two minds. It could be, wait till I find the pattern, got them all here. So it could be an aspen, or I'm thinking it could be a fleur. I think a fleur in a cotton would work absolutely fine. I'm like a Fabric Godmother sandwich. Ooh. So I think it would work, but it probably won't be the first thing that I make. And I'm hedging towards a fleur dress with short sleeves. I would do the sleeveless one. I think I've got 4 meters, so I've got plenty of fabric. It's going to take 4 meters, or there and thereabout. I'll probably end up with some left that I could make a bag with. The thing with this fabric that I must remember, and I'm sure I'll remember because I've talked about it for such a long time, I think I've got 2 meter pieces of it, but the pattern doesn't run down the grain of the fabric. Can you see? It runs selvage to selvage. Now it's quite a decent width for a quilting fabric, I would say. So I'm not worried about kind of getting the bodice out of that depth, and I'd probably get the bodice and sleeves, I think, out of one piece, and then the skirt, I shouldn't have any problem getting the skirt out of it. It is slightly thicker. I've done a cotton poplin and I've done a fointe chambray. I wouldn't say this is any more thicker than the fointe chambray. Now I think it's been washed, because I've pre-washed all of my fabrics for a long time, but what I might do is overlock down the sides and chuck that through the washing machine again, just to make sure. So I might just put that there. So what do you think? Do you think that'll look nice in a fleur? I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking maybe another aspen, but I could be about to aspen out with too many aspens. Is there such a thing? I'm not sure. I think it's because the next one I'm going to talk about is also the aspen. You're going to go, oh my God, Alison, make something different. However, I bought this fabric not that long ago. It is a chambray denim from Merchant and Mills. But it feels, it's such a fine fabric. Now, you might remember when I got it, I was in a bit of a dilemma. I thought it wasn't heavy enough to do an aspen with, and I was a little bit worried about it. But you know what? I've decided to go for it because I had a plan with the aspen to do a bit of a twist on the aspen, and I really want to do it in this fabric. So with, let me go on the line drawings. It's like really easy to explain. So where the pockets are, I wouldn't put pockets on, but what I'm wanting to do is on the Baby Lock Primo machine, I've got the pin tuck attachment. It's like an attachment, but you don't attach it to anything. You sort of open the side and slot it in, and it does amazing pin tucks, which I will share with you on a separate vlog when I do it. And I think I might do this one fairly soon. So what I'm going to do is cut the skirt out, cut the sleeves out, and then with some pieces of fabric, just draw a first sort of straight line on the grain to keep me right, and then just go down and do some pin tucks. And I need to have a look at the pattern piece to work out how many I want. I'd probably do 3 or 5 on either side of the zip across here, so instead of pockets it would have pin tucks down. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I've got it in my head, and I need to get it out of my head, and I need to play and experiment. And I love doing pin tucks on that machine. And if it doesn't work, it's really easy with the cover stitch machine to like unthread it and things. So that's my plan with this. This has been pre-washed. I got 4 meters of it because I had that dress in mind, and I was gonna opt out and do the flare with this, but I really want to make that pin tucked aspen. I don't know where the idea came from. It's been in my head for several months. So what do you think? Do you think it'll work? I hope so. I mean, I've kind of thought about, let me know in the description box, in the comments and things down below what you think, because I've toyed with maybe putting some on the sleeves. First I thought about sort of going from the centre of the sleeve head straight down, but also I have thought about making the sleeve pattern piece a little bit longer and doing some pin tucks above the cuff. So I think that's fairly self-explanatory. Now I complicate things because I put the flare sleeves in my aspen dress. I'm going to blow your minds in a minute because I've got a total mashup of several things. So, like, I'm thinking across here to do maybe 3 rows of pin tucks. I don't even know whether you'll see them, but I'm not going to lose anything, am I, by trying that? I don't think. So I'd probably make the sleeves a little bit longer. I'll probably do a test piece of fabric, like measure the width of the fabric, say 3 inches, and then do 3 rows and see what the width becomes, and then that'll give me a bit of a feel for how much bigger the pattern pieces need to be. But for the front, I'm thinking do the pin tucks first, then lie the pattern pieces on, and then cut the front out. I mean, I could do that with the sleeves as well, I guess. So what do you think? I've not really done pin tucks on a sewing machine before. It's one of those things that I've gone, yeah. But this, I've used it, I've done it. So I think it'll be really nice. And this is one I think it would be quite nice for me to take on holiday because it's lightweight, it's pale pink, it's denim, and I think it'll look quite pretty. So that is that dress there. Now I'm throwing a little side plan in. This wasn't in my plans until I went to try on some jeans. Don't even get me started on that experience. But when I was in Marks and Spencer's, I saw a skirt. I'll put a picture of it in. It's a linen skirt. It's maybe slightly A-line, long length with splits up the side. Just a very simple waistband, very simple skirt. And I was like, I could make one of those. And then I thought, I've not really got a pattern that's like that because I make like a lot of gathered things. I did think about the Maeve skirt and just making like a straighter one down, but I want to get the line of it right. So there is a sew over it pattern. I think it's the Selena that I've printed out and I've got ready, and it's a bias cut skirt, but I think it's going to give me the shape that I want to do. Now, I had a little debate on this on Sew Virtual the other day. I'm kind of like, do I have to cut this? I don't really want a skirt to be on the bias. I guess I'm answering my own question. I'm doing, I'm like big fish, little fish, if you can remember all that malarkey. I don't want this go. My head's going bias and my hands are going like that. Does anybody else do that? I want it just to come, because that skirt wasn't a bias cut skirt, I don't think. I want it to come straight down, but I think it'll give me the right shape. So I'm going to give it a go anyway, because I'm creating space in my stash here. I'm stash busting, folks. So I've got this. It's like, you'll have seen lots of this before. This double gauze, I bought it from Tamlin's D-Stash, Sewn on the Tyne last year, I think. There's 2 meters of it. And although it's a blue, it's a denim-y blue, and obviously it's got that gold bit of sparkle on. And I'm thinking, if this works, I think this would be quite nice on holiday. I've got the one of my Nair t-shirts on today. So with this or a little white vest, and I'm either going to make or possibly buy a white shirt that I think would be quite nice over it as well. So I'm going to give it a go in this, because yeah, I did pay some money for this, but it's been sat in my stash. I think I was going to make some trousers with it, but for me, double gauze trousers, I've made some before, they feel a bit like pyjama bottoms, so I'm not going to go there with it. But I think that was my plan. So I'm going to give it a go in that skirt, in this skirt, in that fabric. That makes sense. And if that works okay, I've got loads of this double gauze, which I got from First for Fabrics last year, and I was going to make a shirt out of it. I think there's 3 meters. But in the end, I walked into Matalan and they had long line, like almost to your knee length, double gauze shirts in lots of different colours. I think they were about £16, and I'd made a green one, and then I just picked up some in some different colours. So this is just sort of sat there. It's a just slightly different pink to the shirt, not much different, but I'm thinking if I make the skirt in the, I'm sure it's called Selena, if not I'll put the name in, and if it works in the blue, I'll make one in this as well, and they can be 2 easy, quick sort of casual pull-on skirts for the summer that I can just style up. Or I could do like a bit of a quad with this and the shirt and a white vest. I think that would look quite nice. What do you think? It's all in my head, and I need to get on and make some, but I'm not pressurising myself. So if these don't get made before I go on holiday, I'm okay, because I've got plenty of clothes to take on holiday with me. I've not got that must get it made holiday deadline, which is really unusual for me, isn't it? But I've got loads of stuff. What can I say? So, and I've still got a denim jacket to finish, but hopefully by the time you see this, I might have finished that. And the final dress that I've got planned in me, I've got quite a lot planned considering I've only got 3 weeks, but I've kind of given myself a bit of an extra week, is this fabric here, which I shared recently, which Paula and Joe sent me as a gift for my retirement from the rag market in Birmingham. And I absolutely love this, and I knew straight away what I wanted to do with it. So this is my mashup, my mega mashup. So I've got another dress which I did bits of this with, and then I changed it. So basically I'm going to do the bodice of the Tilly and the Buttons indigo dress, which is here. Now, a couple of people recently have said, what I don't like about the indigo is that it's quite wide. I agree, it is. But what I tend to do is I just run in these side seams here before I gather the skirt and put it on. So it gives me a slightly more fitted silhouette than, say, the Judy dress that I make that's very floaty. So it's going to be the bodice of the indigo, 2 inches longer than that's the length I normally do, which is on the pattern, with the skirt from the Davenport dress by Friday Pattern Company, but in 3 tiers, but basically using this pattern. All I'll do is, when I've got the pattern pieces out for this, I'll just measure that and then make sure that this sort of first piece is going to fit that. And then after that, it's just rectangles to make your tiers. And that's what I did for the other one. And then I think with the other one, I put the sagebrush sleeves in, but recently I had some fabric, I took those out, and you might remember I put my favourite current sleeve in, which is the flare dress sleeve. So that slightly, well, it is puffy sleeve, but sort of to my elbow, and that one there, I know I showed it earlier, so that one just there. So it's a mash of the three, really. But I've done it before. I've put that sleeve into that bodice. The skirt I'm not even worried about. So that again, I'd like to try and have that done before I go away, but if I don't, it's okay. The theme at the moment for me is no pressure. Stop putting pressure on, just see where we go. So I'm quite happy with getting to the end of a month. I don't do a month's review of what I've made because I talk through it and share that with you each week. But if I get to the end of the month and I haven't made something that I plan to make, it's because it wasn't meant to be. And rather than putting pressure on myself to get it done, I just think it needs to fall in somewhere else, maybe next year when we get to the same season, or for a different reason. Or maybe it's just meant to be. That piece of fabric's just meant to be something else. I don't know. So they are my plans for May. Let me know what you think. I know... excuse me, I know I'm quite early in my thinking for May, but I think I'm conscious that I'm going away in the middle of the month, and I want to kind of get ahead with my planning and my makes, and probably get some of these cut out and ready to go. That would be pretty good. This weekend, as you're watching this, my daughter's away, so there's only me using the room, so I've got quite a chunk of time to get cracked on, get quite a bit done. So if I can get them cut out into project bags, that would be really good, actually. So yeah, come back on Friday and we'll see where we've got to. Have some lovely sewing, and I will see you very soon.